Hello, I'm Dr. Sam, this is Dr. Sam's Health, and today I'm going to make my report on my personal body transformation. This Monday, September 24th, 2018, was exactly 3 months since I started my body transformation, and I think it's a good time to review my efforts, what I started with, and what has been achieved in this 3 months. First of all, I would like to remind you where I started. I started with the weight of 101 kilo or 222.8 pounds. My body fat percentage was 31.4%. I started a serious body transformation and I promised that the results will be seen relatively quickly, and I promised that in 3 months I will be able to achieve significantly lower body fat percentage and a significant change in my physique, in the way I look. I followed a low-calorie, low-carbohydrate diet. I was eating once a day, so effectively it was intermittent fasting. I managed to lose 15 pounds in the first 2 weeks. Then my weight loss slowed down a little bit and I started counting calories. And that was another boost for my body transformation. And in the next 4 weeks, I've lost 15 more pounds. In the last 4 or 5 weeks, I've been playing around with different strategies to speed up my weight loss. I tried refeeding, I had a couple of sleeps, I had a couple of cheat days. Actually, I had a bit of a binge over the course of 2-3 days, and I'll show you on the chart. You see this bump on the chart when the weight seems to go up again. And approximately 10 days ago, I realized that I do have a certain goal and I want to achieve it. So I drastically reduced my caloric intake down to 500 calories per day. In the last week, it was a bit of a difficult week, as you can imagine, but in general, I managed to lose 42.9 or 43 pounds over the course of this 3 months, and I'm very happy with my progress. I would like to stress that my goal was not just to lose weight. My goal was to lose fat and to look leaner and to achieve lower body fat percentage. That part turned out to be a little bit more problematic than I thought, mostly due to some sort of measurement problems. When I started my body transformation, I was using 2 consumer level scales, and my original body fat percentage was 31.4%, and as I was losing weight, more and more weight, I realized that these scales show me some sort of odd results. By that I mean that while losing a lot of weight, my body fat percentage was going down way slower than I expected. So I tried different methods of measuring my body fat percentage, and I have reviewed these methods in one of my first video entries. I actually encourage you to take a look at this video, how to measure your body fat percentage, how to measure yourself in general, because I think that I gave a pretty decent overview of the methods you can use. As I was progressing with my body transformation, I tried to use some of these methods. One of these methods is a quite reliable formula that uses the body measurements to calculate your body fat percentage. So as I've been measuring myself, I plugged these numbers into this formula, and the formula yielded a result of 17% body fat, which is, in my opinion, the most realistic number, just based on the way I look right now. But at the same time, we've got other ways of measuring it, right? I also use the in-body scanner, which is quite an expensive tool. And this tool showed the body fat percentage of 13.7%, which is obviously the number that I totally love. But given that there are discrepancies between different methods, I decided to do something very objective. So I booked a DEXA scan and had it done a week ago. And honestly, I expected the result of around 17-18% of body fat. Unfortunately, the DEXA scan showed the result of 25.2%, which technically makes me an obese person. That was something that was very difficult to accept for me, but this DEXA scan showed another thing, which was very, very interesting. It showed your body fat distribution. Specifically, it showed that I've lost a lot of fat in the abdominal area, but I still carry some fat around my hips. And that, in my opinion, explains a lot. Specifically, it explains why my body circumferences, my body measurements go down, whereas my body fat percentage still stays relatively high. Let me show you something. I decided to stand up for a second because I've been sitting all this time and it was difficult for you to gauge my physique and the way I look right now. So according to the DEXA scan, my body fat percentage is 25.2%, which is pretty high, and technically it puts me into this category of obese people. So tell me, do I look obese to you? Do I? What I'm trying to show is that the numbers are sometimes quite deceiving, and the person might have a quite decent looks, decent physique, and at the same time the person, like myself in this case, would have a relatively high body fat percentage. In any case, I'm not trying to defy the objective reality. Actually, I stood up to show you something. I've been talking about losing 15 pounds in the first 2 weeks, then 30 pounds in total in the first 6 weeks. Now, after 3 months of my body transformation, I have lost 43 pounds, which is very close to 45. And these are just numbers. I wanted to illustrate these numbers. The best way of doing so obviously would be showing some before and after pictures, but quite honestly, I'm trying not to even think about the way I looked just 3 months ago. And I wanted to show you something that is effectively a good illustration of what 45 pounds are. Here we go. That's a 45-pound bumper plate. You can see how big it is, and I must say that this thing is quite heavy. And this is 45 pounds. 45 pounds of weight that I've been carrying around that were actually in a way of everything I was doing. It was very difficult to work out with this 45 pounds. It was very difficult to do pull-ups with extra 45 pounds on my belt or evenly distributed all over my body. One important thing that the density of this bumper plate is way higher than the density of fat and even of muscle or bone. So effectively I've been carrying around quite a lot of body volume, and I'm very happy that I've lost it. Whew, this plate was actually quite heavy. It was very difficult to talk while holding it. But now I'm back in my chair and we can finish the conversation about the body fat percentage and physique. There are a couple of things I would like to say about this DEXA scan. First of all, it's a little bit difficult to accept this body fat percentage number, but I will rely on this DEXA scan because it's still the most objective measure that I have. And I will treat this DEXA scan as the most pessimistic scenario, but at the same time, I will rely specifically on this piece of information that I have. One good thing is that given my body fat distribution pattern, likely I will not have to go down to like 8% body fat in order to have visible six-pack abs. On the other hand, it definitely shows that there is still a long way to go in order to get to very low body fat percentage. In any case, I'm very happy with the progress so far, and it's time to map out the plan for the next 3 months. I will definitely continue following my nutritional approach. I will stick to the low carbohydrate diet. I will still have some caloric deficit, and I will still do my best to eat once a day, so effectively it will be also an intermittent fasting approach. At the same time, I'm planning to change my strategy a little bit. Specifically, in the first 3 months, my goal was to lose as much weight as possible. And unfortunately, it looks like I've lost some lean body mass. So in the next 3 months, I will keep my caloric deficit relatively low, around like 500, maybe 800 calories a day. And my goal will be still to lose some weight, but at the same time to spare or even build some muscle. So in the next 3 months, along with my weight loss efforts, I'm planning to intensify my workouts. In the first 3 months, I've been working out a little bit, gradually increasing the intensity of my workouts in order to prepare myself for this upcoming time period. So just to sum it up, I will still keep myself on a low carbohydrate diet, intermittent fasting, and very mild caloric deficit. I will increase the amount of protein that I take in order to help with muscle building, and I will intensify my workouts. My expectation is to build or to regain 3-5 pounds of muscle, which is relatively realistic number. And at the same time, I hope to lose 10-15 pounds of body fat. So overall, my body fat percentage will go down. my total body weight will still go down, hopefully by 5, 10, maybe 12 pounds overall. And that's the plan for the next 3 months. So wish me luck. I will be making this personal transformation videos every 3 to 4 weeks. Thank you for your ongoing support. If you like my videos, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, ask your questions, make comments. I always appreciate them and I always try to address them, to answer your questions. And also you give me ideas for my future videos. Also check out my website, drsamshealth.com. We've got quite a few information and tools there for you to use. And that's it for today. I'll see you in the next video. All the best.